5G is definitely the new battleground and the subject that is in focus this year. And the battleground both in terms of content partnerships as well as the battle to roll it out. Give us an update on where you are in terms of rolling out 5G this year.
Great. Yeah, so in December, just last month, we launched the first mobile version that's standards-based. You can buy a device, you can get on a network for 12 cities. And so first part of this year, we're going to roll out in another 7 cities. So we're well down the path. And we've been announcing some of these use cases that we're doing with businesses. And just this morning, we announced we're going to work with the Dallas Cowboys to get 5G into AT&T Stadium, Rush Hospital in Chicago, where we're going to try to transform healthcare inside the provider hospitals. And so we're really excited about the opportunity to continue marching down this path.
Now, you are facing a lot of criticism today in particular from both Verizon and T-Mobile for marketing your upgraded version of 4G as 5G. They say it's misleading. They say that it's confusing to consumers and ultimately could be very damaging for 5G over the long run. Why are you doing this?
Well, the fact that we have beachfront property inside their heads makes me smile. But that's really just not the case. If you think about the history of our industry, the top part of that phone has always given you an indication of the network information. In the early days, the number of bars told you where you were coverage-wise. And then when you were paying per megabyte, you'd look and say, can I get a Wi-Fi network? That's always been the information that was available to the customers about what's going to be available, what can they do. And so for us, it was a natural evolution when we announced 2 years ago at this show, actually, in 2017, that we were going to do this. So the fact that we did it and then all of a sudden our competitors have decided that they're upset by it, I think that they're wounded a little by our success last month.
When there's a big network upgrade, there's always this marketing race as well to say who's first. But there's a question around what's going to happen around smartphone demand and the rollout of 5G. 5G's got a broad swath of capabilities that's different from previous upgrades we've seen with 3G, 4G. Is there less likelihood that we're going to see a spike in demand from new handsets from Apple, from Samsung because of 5G?
Well, the 4G network itself, I would say, was really the epicenter of the 4G revolution was the device itself. And so as you think about how it comes together, though, each of these generations, the network, the device, and then the applications have to come together. And sometimes you get those things timed perfectly. Sometimes one is ahead of another. But at the end of the day, the consumer benefit's going to arrive when all 3 of them come together at the same time. What's different about 5G is not just that the network is more powerful. We always think of it as a real-time network. It's also that we've been getting calls from customers in advance that say, I'm going to do a new architecture or a new design on something that like you're going to see on the floor. It's going to radically reshape the size of goggles, for instance, for virtual reality. It's going to change how you would architect an autonomous car. So this is different because these things are going to, I think, happen and come together much more quickly than they did during the early days of the iPhone and the evolution of the 3G and the 4G network.
Do you end up subsidizing phones again, or do you end up subsidizing something else to help aid that 5G rollout?
That's a TBD. So I do think that when you build a long-term relationship with a customer and that relationship is expanding, it does give you some degrees of freedom to say, look, you know, we're going to help you with the economics of this or help you with the economics of that. It's a TBD, and I'm not trying to shy away from the question. I think that there's a possibility that you could get back into subsidies of some sort. Today, what customers appreciate with us is they have the ability to get HBO or music so that they get some added benefit with their traditional network.
Speaking of HBO, obviously it's been a big change for your parent company to be integrating Warner Media. Yeah. What does that mean for you? I know you don't run Warner Media, but how can you better leverage that sister company of yours to lock in subscribers?
Yeah, there's lots of grand answers, but then there's simple ones. And the simple ones are every one of our retail stores, everybody who comes in the store, they want to make sure that when you walk out, you can watch content. And so that ability to say, in our stores, they're familiar with the launch of HBO show and its timing, and they can help customers use it. That's a really big benefit for our sister companies, and vice versa. You know, if a brand new movie can help drive traffic to our stores, that's a really good thing.
Now, you also oversee DirecTV and that more traditional TV bundle. What do you expect to see in terms of cord cutting this year, especially as AT&T launches its new over-the-top streaming service?
Yeah.
Is it going to be cannibalizing your business?
Yeah, it's not a surprise to anyone, the decline curve that we're on with linear video. I don't see 2019 being a year where it would appreciably accelerate. So I think it's going to stay on trend. And I think people are generally now taking stock of the fact of, how would I put together my video entertaining? I think the days of people buying packages that are more than they want or need are gone. I think the days where people think that I'm going to be stapled to a couch at a certain time, that's a narrower amount of content that they want to see live. And the third big trend, which is a really important one, is I want it wherever I'm going. I want it on my phone, I want it on my tablet. And so those three trends are in fits and starts and moving, and we just have to be really in tune with our customers to say, what do you want and then how do we get it to you?